In 1994, Mick Garry's 6-hour TV movie The Stand conquered the small screen. See also his other King adaptations in Cub vs. Sleepwalkers. The movie is based on the 6th novel by Stephen King from 1978. Released in a short and handy almost 1000 pages version and a 400 pages longer complete edition, on which is also based the beautifully illustrated 2008-2012 Marvel comic. The 31 issues, divided into 6 story arcs, completed the telling of the unabridged novel. King also wrote the screenplay, which for the most part matches with the novel, at least the 1000 pages I know. The 1969 short story Night Surf in Night Shift makes indirect reference to the novel. See also the same named special. In the story, a mutated flu virus, aka Corona, escapes from a secret military lab and kills in a short time more than 99% of the world's population. I guess they just didn't have enough gay slave masks at hand. Oh, they did, but since the virus in the story is supposed to be real, they were of course useless. In one scene, a reporter even casually mentions that wearing masks doesn't protect against shit.
Some people have even taken to wearing protection on the streets. Why are you wearing this mask, sir?
I don't know, just feel safer.
Okay, thank you. Katie, the folks at the Atlanta Disease Control Center told me that these masks wouldn't stop a flu germ with a hangover.
In contrast to our current pandemic, with also more than 99% but survival rate, and even 3 years higher life expectancy for people deceased with COVID. The average life expectancy is 81. With COVID, it's 84. Case solved, Sherlock. With the relabeled and therefore from the statistics almost completely disappeared flu, whose former victims are now simply called COVID cases. And even now, after more than a year, there is neither a well-founded scientific test, ergo no scientific proven sick or dead, nor even an excess mortality compared to previous years. However, there are victims, namely the people who have been vaccinated for no reason, resulting in some of them getting seriously ill or get killed directly.
They're wearing respirators on their faces.
Shut it down!
Hey, Bluto, you ever heard of a little number called freedom of speech? Bill of Rights? Any of that ring a bell? Folks, I've just been ordered by my uninvited fascist guest to shut down, and I've refused.
All right,
I think...
Journalists and critics are silenced as soon as they dare to report about the existing danger.
Martial law has been declared. We don't have to put up with you and your pinko friends anymore.
Mike, are you getting all this?
Get him! Get him! Get the driver!
In the car!
The same is happening right now with those who report about the corona and vaccination fraud. They get, with Stasi methods, massively intimidated, their career is over, bank accounts are cancelled, videos and whole channels deleted, and so on.
Where is the purpose in your life? Where is the truth? Do you remember your hopes, your dreams? They are no longer your own.
In the story, a few survive as they are immune and try to establish a new civilization. The good ones are led by the dreams of an old woman to Boulder, Colorado. The evil people get dream instruction from the rogue Randall Flagg to meet in Las Vegas. Of course. For the last battle, good versus evil. Randall Flagg also appears among others 5 years later as a villain in the interesting novel The Eyes of the Dragon, as well as in the Dark Tower series. The Stand is from my point of view a passable adaptation, but the novel itself is for my taste a bit too dull. Unfortunately, The Stand is not about the last, for whatever reason, survivors of whatever who have to come to terms. That would be really interesting and revealing, but about supernatural crap. To be specific, the Bible, which I personally think is a wasted opportunity, since the aftermath situation is already interesting enough and even somewhat plausible explained. But instead, this is a run-of-the-mill fantasy story filled with convenient coincidences and simple solutions. There are visions, magic and supernatural powers whenever they are needed. This was already in the book back then, for me neither exciting nor interesting.
You act like a child playing games now.
but the 1994 version is still Citizen Kane and high art compared to the same named 9-hour US TV remake from 2020, which should actually be more appropriately called the woke or the virtue signaling. Infected people get in the final stage of the disease a thick throat. In Germany, thick throat means also to be fed up with something. So actually a real symptom. I also get a thick throat when I torture myself through boring crap like this. Which also goes for those people in real life who are constantly told the fairy tale of a symptomless disease. Of course, beside the same symptoms as the since last year deceased flu. May she rest in peace. Randall Flagg has been cast here from my point of view already not really convincing. He can't keep up for a second with the 1994 portrayal. But Whoopi Goldberg as Mother Abigail is a bad joke. And Ezra Miller as the pyromaniac trashcan man burns away the last bit of hope viewers might have had until his disastrous smear performance. The garbage can man is an important tragic figure in the book, whose motivation is explained much better. His backstory was already criminally ignored in the 1994 version, which is why he came across as far too unpredictable. But here he is directly portrayed as a crazy monster. This boring as fuck series supposedly sticks a bit more to the original, but still has some incomprehensible changes. The slow breakdown of society and the journey at the beginning where the survivors decide which side they belong to, which was a considerable part of the book and in the 1994 version at least half of the running time, is almost completely skipped and done with quite from the start. They arrive in Boulder in the first episode.
This is not a story. This is not a book. This is your life. And this is not a play, some TV show you've seen. This is real life. You know that.
After which there are constantly flashbacks, tanking the whole pasting of the show. As usual nowadays, by ignoring the template, even if it pokes holes in the story, there are complete unnecessary race and gender swaps. Like with the musician Larry Underwood, whose friend now has to serve as a bad white drug abuse influence. In the book it was the other way around and at least made sense.
This is your life.
The friend tried to help the rising music star with his thanks financial success emerging drug problem. Nick is now Latino because why not?
This is your life.
The red man becomes a red woman with an awful haircut. A black judge turns white and female. With the 4 chosen ones, they obviously tried to crack the woke jackpot and so on. Important characters like the deaf-mute Nick are virtually muted and degraded to side characters, while completely miscast minor characters like a lanky Harold, in the book an over 200-pound giant with Asperger syndrome, are promoted to over-the-top psycho antagonist. At the end destroys, I guess, God, the evil people city, Randall Flagg, and followers with lightning bolts, and a nuclear bomb that was just in time dragged there by the trashcan man. In the 1994 version, it is the hand of God that simply triggers the bomb. In the book, the bomb goes off by itself. The completely tacked on last episode takes moronically place after the final.
This is not a story. This is not a book. This is your life. And this is not a play, some TV show you've seen. This is real life. You know that. This is
In which Stu and Franny risk their lives for no reason than the script, go on vacation with a 3-month-old baby, meet a kid version of Mother Abigail, and Randall Flagg takes over a native tribe? This supposed brand new ending is apparently the one from the complete edition or whatever.